As requested by the YouTube user E-Maxx Guy 17, here is the review of my Traxxas E-Maxx 3905. The 3905 basically means that this came with a 27 meg radio and two brushed Titan motors. What I first did was I got this Futaba 3PM, so I've gone 2.4 gig. It's old, but it does the job very well and I'm really happy with it. So that's my radio. I then decided to get the Castle Creations the 2200 kV motor with the Mamba Monster Max. This is held down by the Traxxas, the same hold down that the E-Revo will use, the brushless one. The mounting holes fit perfectly and it does a very good job of keeping the ESC in the truck. Then I decided to opt for a Savox servo, so it's digital. It is the Savox 1256 TG, which stands for titanium geared. Puts out about twice the standard power of an E-Maxx from the one servo. So I replaced both my servos with this one and it's twice as strong. I've then decided to go for the Traxxas big bore shocks. They're actually not any bigger than the Ultra Shocks. In fact, they are smaller in diameter and they're slightly smaller in shock travel. Where they do benefit is that they are an aluminium bodied shock, and they have titanium nitride coated shafts, which is why they have a gold look to them. Basically they're extra tough, and they don't bend, they don't pop the shock caps like the Ultra Shocks. So they're definitely worth the upgrade. But keep in mind that when you do get those, they actually come with the standard red spring that the E-Maxxes originally used. It's very weak, so I've decided to get the white springs for the Ultra Shocks, the progressive ones. They're slightly larger, so you'll need to use the old spring collar, so the top part and the spring cup, the bottom part, from the Ultra Shocks in order to use these springs without them sliding all over the place. Next on the list I've got RPM A-arms, so front and back. The rear ones are the true track conversion. Basically means that there's no pivot ball on the bottom link. That gets rid of the tie rod on the back. Moving right along, I have RPM wear plates underneath. I've actually ordered some new ones because these are completely beaten up. Front one's actually wearing through so much there. As for the center one, I've used this because this is, I'll get onto the chassis, doesn't allow for the standard one. The stock E-Maxx transmission case with a RPM wear guard that I cut in half. So the way it works is that sits in under there and that's not coming out. I've had no problems with this, that I've run it for about a year and a half. So that's the servo there. Savox Digital SC125TG. Now, while we're on the RPM side of things, I've got the RPM front bumper. This is a stock Traxxas skid plate, custom painted. I reckon it's pretty cool, doesn't do anything but it looks neat. And then the rear RPM bumper. Means you can't use a standard Traxxas wheelie bar, but it looks pretty cool. Now, on to the business end of things. This is a fast lane machine chassis, so that's FLM.net, I believe. It costs a little over $100. Not sure how thick it is, but it's really tough. Fairly easy to assemble. Indestructible. Looks really cool. I broke my original E-Maxx chassis and this was the obvious replacement for it. So you get the chassis as well as the what are they called, the braces. So these bits that run along here right to the back, you get those as well. And what I also bought, because I broke a lot of diffs with mine under power, this is the hybrid bulkhead. Basically what it is it's the bulkhead and the diff case machined into one unit. Hopefully the camera picks it up. And it's much stronger, but it also allows for 8 scale diffs. So what I've done is I've bought those and then stuck in some, I think, Hyper 7 diffs from Cobeo, and it is indestructible. apart from a bit of dirt build up. But they are the best upgrade, the best single upgrade you could do for a brushless E-Maxx. Then you're also included with the chassis upgrade. They give you the dog bones because the transmission is slightly offset from the standard E-Maxx. I guess the last thing I have to say about my E-Maxx, apart from me attempting to do a little mod for the shocks there, I've got the Proline trenches. They are a 7-inch wheel, so it means you're going to go a fair bit quicker. If you go to Google and you search Script Asylum RC Speed Calculator, you can actually put in the standard 5.8 inch tyres and these, which are about 6.9, and you'll probably notice at least, say, 10 kilometers an hour difference increase with these. I used to run the Traxxas Geodes with the Tallmax 6.3 inch tyres. Obviously 6.3 versus 7, there is a difference, it is noticeable, but the one thing I did notice is with the Tech 5 rims you've got no offset, with the Geode rims you've got half offset. Going from a wider and smaller tyre to a larger and rim with less offset, it was noticeably harder to turn and keep the car under control. That said, it is a monster truck, it doesn't handle like a race car, but these tyres, they have so much grip, you've got to be a bit careful, and especially turning you've got to slow down. But that's my review of the Traxxas E-Maxx, at least my list of upgrades. By far the coolest truck. I love it. It's, always will be my baby. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you've got any questions about, something else, or what to buy, what you think you should buy, things like that, just, reply in the comment section or send me an email via YouTube. That's about it. Thanks for watching. See ya.
Don't sweat the technique. Don't sweat the technique.